In the moonlit forest, Lyra's heart raced as strong arms lifted her from the mud. She stared into eyes like burning embers. Alpha Cain's gaze held her mute world captive. Her voice had vanished years ago from a witch's curse, leaving her silent and alone. But his touch sparked fire through her veins, pulling her closer. "Mine," he growled low, his breath warm against her neck. The air thickened with mate scent, wild and sweet, binding them in ways words never could. Cain's lips brushed her ear, promising protection, passion, desire. For the first time, Lyra felt seen, wanted, whole. His curse shadowed him, a beast that raged without control, but in that moment, nothing else mattered. Their fingers intertwined, pulses sinking under the silver light. He pressed his forehead to hers, whispering, "You are my light, Lyra. Speak or not, you are chosen." Her silent tears fell as his mouth claimed hers in a deep, hungry kiss, sealing their fates. Love bloomed fierce, defying every curse. Welcome, viewers. Thank you for joining this gripping werewolf romance. Like this video, comment below, tell us where you're watching from, rate the story 1 to 10 so far, and please subscribe. Lyra lived on the edge of Blackwood Pack territory, in a small cabin hidden by tall pines. Her days passed in quiet routine. She gathered herbs in the forest, tended her garden, and avoided the pack village. No one bothered her much. Her silence made her an outsider. Children called her the ghost girl. Adults whispered about the witch's curse that stole her voice 10 years ago, when she was 16. The curse came during a full moon festival. Lyra had wandered too far from the celebration. A rogue witch, angry at the pack for chasing her from their lands, found her alone. The woman chanted dark words and pointed a bony finger. Pain burned Lyra's throat. When she tried to scream, no sound came out. The witch vanished into the night, leaving Lyra speechless forever. The pack alpha at the time declared her cursed, unfit for mating or rank. She learned to survive alone, using gestures and written notes. That night in the forest changed everything. Lyra had slipped out to collect rare night bloom flowers, which grew only under the full moon. Rain poured heavy, turning the ground slick. Her foot caught on a root, and she fell hard into a muddy ditch. Before she could climb out, large hands gripped her waist and pulled her up. Alpha Cain stood there, soaked to the bone. Water dripped from his dark hair and broad shoulders. He was the leader of the rival Ironfang pack, known for his strength and temper. Rumor said he carried his own curse, a beast form that took over without warning, turning him feral during full moons. Packs feared him. No one challenged Ironfang under his rule. Cain's wolf senses flared the moment he touched her. Mate. The word echoed in his mind. He had searched years for her, driven by instinct, but battles and duties kept him away. Now here she was, fragile yet fierce, her wide green eyes locking onto his. He inhaled her scent, lavender and earth, pure mate bond pulling him in. "You are safe now," Cain said, his voice rough from disuse. He wrapped his jacket around her shivering frame. Lyra nodded, heart pounding. She pointed to the path leading home, but he shook his head. "No. You come with me." She hesitated, then followed. His cabin was larger, warm with a fire crackling in the stone hearth. Cain brought her tea and dried clothes. Lyra sat by the flames, warming her hands. She pulled a small notebook from her satchel and wrote, "Thank you. I am Lyra. Why help me?" Cain read it, a smile tugging his lips. "I am Cain, Alpha of Ironfang, and you are my mate." Her eyes widened. She scribbled fast, "Impossible. I am cursed. Silent. No one wants me." He knelt before her, taking her hands. "The moon goddess chose you for me. Curse or not, you are mine." His curse made him doubt himself. Every full moon, the beast clawed free, hungry for blood. He had lost pack members to it. No Luna deserved that risk. But her scent drowned his fears. Lyra touched his cheek, feeling the stubble under her fingers. Sparks danced across her skin. She wrote, "You are cursed too?" Cain nodded. "A dark sorcerer from my past. Full moons bring the rage. I chain myself away." Their eyes met, understanding passing between them. Two broken souls, bound by fate. Cain leaned closer, but a howl outside broke the moment. His beta, Adam, burst in. Tall and loyal, Adam had served Cain for years. Alpha, rogues at the border. They carry Blackwood scent. Cain growled. "Stay here, Lyra. Safe." He shifted to wolf form, massive black fur, golden eyes, and raced out with Adam. Lyra paced the cabin. Worry gnawed her. She grabbed her notebook and slipped into the night, following their trail. The fight was brutal. Rogues, 5 strong, clashed with iron-fang wolves. Cain tore through them, but one rogue lunged for Adam. Lyra screamed silently, throwing a rock. It hit the rogue's head, distracting him. Adam finished the fight. Back at the cabin, Cain shifted human, bloodied but victorious. "You should not have come," he said, but pride shone in his eyes. Lyra wrote, "I protect what is mine too." He pulled her into his arms, holding tight. Their first night together sealed the bond deeper. Days passed. Cain visited her cabin daily, bringing food and stories. Lyra taught him plant lore through drawings. He shared pack history. Tension grew between packs. Blackwood Alpha Candace, Cain's sister from a shared past, sent warnings. Candace ruled with iron will, beautiful but cold. She hated Cain for leaving their old pack. One evening, Cain arrived with news. "Candace demands a meeting. She claims you as Blackwood property." Lyra shook her head fierce. She wrote, "I choose you." Cain kissed her forehead. "We face this together." At the border meeting, Candace waited with warriors. Her blonde hair gleamed, blue eyes sharp. "Brother," returned the mute girl. "She belongs here." Cain stepped forward. "Lyra is my mate. Ironfang Luna." Candace laughed. "A silent Luna? Cursed like you? Madness." Lyra glared, writing large on her board, "I am enough." Candace read it, face twisting. "Prove it. Join our hunt tomorrow. Survive and take her." Cain agreed, sensing a trap. That night, he held Lyra close. "No matter what, we break these curses." Their lips met, soft at first, then urgent. Heat built, bodies pressing. Cain pulled back, eyes dark. "Not yet. Full moon soon." But Lyra's touch lingered, promising more. The hunt began at dawn. Rogues ambushed them mid-forest. Candace vanished in the chaos. Cain fought savagely, protecting Lyra. She used her wits, leading foes into traps with vines and pits. Adam flanked them, claws flashing. A rogue pinned Cain. The beast curse stirred early, eyes turning red. Lyra jumped on its back, stabbing with a dagger from her boot. Cain broke free, calming. "You saved me," he whispered. They returned victorious. Candace admitted defeat but warned, "Curses bind you still." Alone later, Cain and Lyra shared their first true night. His hands explored her curves, gentle despite strength. She guided him silently, passion igniting. Under stars, they claimed each other, bond strengthening against the dark magic. The next full moon crept closer with every passing night. The Ironfang territory grew tense, wolves sharpening weapons and whispering about their alpha's curse. Lyra sensed the fear each time she visited the village. Eyes followed her, weighing her worth as future Luna. Children hid behind their mothers, watching the silent woman who dared walk beside their cursed leader. Some looked at her with pity, others with doubt. How could she guide them if she could not speak? Lyra felt the questions like stones against her skin, but she raised her chin and kept walking at Cain's side. Cain noticed the stares. His hand found hers, fingers tightening in a quiet promise. "They will see your strength soon," he said, voice low so only she heard. She glanced up at him, eyes shining with a mix of trust and worry, then squeezed his hand back. That evening, the council gathered in the longhouse. Warriors sat in a circle: Adam, ever loyal; Mira, the sharp-eyed healer; Rowan, the skeptical tracker who doubted every risk. Lyra stood beside Cain, notebook in hand. Rowan's gaze hardened. "Alpha, with respect, the pack needs a Luna who can speak. Who can command in battle and rally hearts. Not a woman bound to silence." Murmurs rose. Mira shot Rowan a sharp look but said nothing. Cain's jaw tightened. "Lyra is not weak. She has already saved my life. She will save more." Lyra stepped forward before he could say more. Her fingers trembled as she opened her notebook and wrote, pressing the pencil hard against the page, "A Luna leads with heart and mind, not only with voice. I will be your shield in silence and your strength in the shadows." She held the words up to the council. Myra's lips curved into a small smile. Adam nodded with quiet approval. Rowan's expression softened, though doubt still lingered. The murmurs shifted, curiosity replacing some of the fear. Cain's eyes warmed with pride. She has more courage than many who shout loud orders and run at the first sign of danger. After the meeting, Adam approached Lyra outside, where the sky blazed with orange and pink. "You made them think," he said. "That is more than most manage." She smiled and wrote, "Thank you for believing in Cain." Adam shrugged. "He believed in me when no one else did. I will stand by whoever stands by him." As the sun dipped and the moon began its climb, Cain led Lyra to a hidden spring deep in the forest. Fireflies hovered above the water, tiny floating stars. The air smelled of moss and dew. "This is where I come when the curse feels too heavy," Cain confessed. "When the beast inside me claws at my bones." Lyra knelt by the water, touching its cool surface. Her reflection wavered beside his, two haunted souls framed by silver light. She turned, beckoning him closer, and wrote, "Show me everything. Do not hide from me." He sank to his knees in front of her. "If you see what I become, you might run." She shook her head firmly, eyes steady. She placed his hand over her heart, then laid her own against his chest, feeling the wild rhythm beneath his skin. "We are both cursed," she wrote. "We stand or fall together." Something in Cain broke and healed at the same time. He pulled her into his arms, burying his face in her neck. "The full moon rises tomorrow. I will not let the beast hurt you. You must stay locked away, Lyra." She stiffened, then pushed gently back to look at him. Her pencil moved quickly. "Locking me away does not protect me. Let me help you control it." Cain shook his head. "It is not control. It is raw rage. My father died trying to restrain me once. I woke to blood on my hands and people I loved broken on the floor." Lyra read the pain in his eyes and the way his shoulders carried the weight of old guilt. She reached up, cupping his face with both hands, thumbs brushing away a tear he did not realize had fallen. She wrote only 3 words this time: "I trust you." He kissed her then, slow and deep, the world narrowing to the taste of her lips and the warmth of her body pressed close. The fireflies swirled around them, and the forest held its breath. When they parted, foreheads touching, Cain whispered, "Then I must learn to trust myself for you." They returned to the village hand in hand. That night, Lyra could not sleep. She sat by the window, watching the almost full moon hang heavy in the sky like a promise and a threat. Her fingers brushed the scar on her throat, the reminder of the witch's cruel spell. Memories flooded back, of the night she lost her voice, of her desperate attempts to scream, of the pack turning away when she could no longer join their songs. For years, she had believed silence made her unworthy of love. Now Cain's devotion tore that lie open, but fear still whispered that curses never broke cleanly. A soft knock sounded at her door. When she opened it, Mira stood there, holding a small pouch and a clay bowl. "I thought you might need this," the healer said. "Moonflower tea. It calms the mind." Lyra stepped aside to let her in. Mira bustled to the hearth, busy hands masking her curiosity. "You know, I have seen many wounds," she said lightly. "Broken bones, torn flesh, crushed spirits. The worst injuries are the ones no one can see." Lyra listened, watching the steam rise from the bowl as Mira poured hot water over the herbs. "Cain's curse is one such wound," Mira continued. "But yours is another. A stolen voice is more than lost sound. It steals the chance to be heard, to defend yourself, to say enough when the world pushes too hard." Lyra's eyes burned. She wrote slowly, "Do you think curses can break?" Mira held her gaze. "Curses are shackles made of fear, blood, and will. To break them, you need stronger will, shared blood, and a love that refuses to bend." She gently pushed the bowl into Lyra's hands. "You and Cain. There is something different about your bond. The moon goddess does not make mistakes." Lyra drank, the tea warm and slightly bitter. She thought of Cain's haunted eyes, of the way his hands trembled when he spoke of losing control. "We will try," she wrote. "Together." By the time Mira left, the first light of dawn brushed the horizon. The full moon would rise that night. The day passed in a strange hush. Wolves fortified the pack's underground chamber, where Cain always locked himself during his worst transformations. Chains were tested, silver examined. Cain sought Lyra just before sunset. He found her by the edge of the forest, fingers trailing over the bark of an old oak, as if she were drawing strength from its roots. "Lyra," he said softly. She turned, eyes already full of questions. He closed the distance between them. "I want you near, but safe. Adam will guard you. If you hear howls, do not come." She shook her head, a flicker of stubborn fire in her gaze. Her pencil flew over the page. "I will be there when you wake. Your first sight should not be chains. It should be me." Cain exhaled. "You are more stubborn than any wolf in my pack." His lips curved in a small, helpless smile. "Very well. You wait outside the chamber doors. But you must promise not to open them, no matter what you hear." She hesitated, then nodded once. She would keep that promise, unless breaking it was the only way to save him. As night fell, the pack gathered around the stone entrance to the underground chamber. Torches flickered, casting uneasy shadows on tense faces. Cain stood at the center, shirtless, muscles taut, the mark of his alpha rank shining on his shoulder. Adam clasped his arm. "We have done this before, Alpha. We will do it again." Cain nodded. "If anything goes wrong, protect Lyra." Adam's gaze flicked to her, then back. "With my life." Cain descended the stairs. Heavy doors slammed shut behind him. The sound of chains being secured echoed up the passage. Lyra sat on a stone near the entrance, knees drawn to her chest, heart pounding. The moon climbed. Its light slipped across the ground like a blade. A low growl drifted from below, then a sharp clatter of chains. Lyra's fingers dug into the rock beneath her. She closed her eyes, imagining Cain's struggle, the beast surging, his mind fighting to stay in control. The growl rose to a roar, a sound filled with rage and pain. Metal creaked. Wolves around her flinched. One young warrior whispered, "What if the chains break?" Lyra's eyes flew open. She stood, moving closer to the door, ignoring Adam's warning glance. Her entire body trembled, but she refused to step back. She pressed her palm to the cold stone, as if he could feel her through it. "Lyra," Adam said quietly, "you need to stand away." She shook her head. Her notebook stayed at her side this time. Words felt useless while Cain suffered below. Instead, she let her presence speak, the same way she had done for years, living in a world that refused to listen. Inside the chamber, Cain's roar turned to a broken howl. The roar from the chamber grew louder, shaking dust from the stone ceiling. Lyra pressed both hands against the door, feeling the vibrations travel up her arms. Inside, Cain fought the beast, sweat mixing with blood from where chains cut into his wrists. His vision blurred, red haze swallowing reason. Adam stepped closer, hand on his sword hilt. "Lyra, move back. Now." Other wolves shifted uneasily, fur rippling along their arms. The air thickened with tension, every ear straining for the snap of metal. Lyra ignored him. She closed her eyes, focusing on their bond. Through it, she sensed Cain's pain like her own, a burning pull in her chest. She whispered silent prayers to the moon goddess, willing her strength into him. A sharp crack echoed. Chains groaned. The door rattled. Wolves gasped. Adam drew his blade. "Brace." The door held, but Cain's howls turned desperate, almost human. Lyra's heart twisted. She grabbed a torch from the wall, holding it high as if its light could pierce the darkness below. Minutes stretched into hours. The moon reached its peak, then began its slow descent. Silence fell suddenly, broken only by heavy breathing from the chamber. The pack waited, frozen. Adam signaled 2 warriors to check the locks. They approached cautious, keys in hand. "Alpha," one called. No answer. They opened the door a crack. Cool air rushed out, carrying the metallic scent of blood. Lyra pushed past them, torch first. Adam grabbed her arm. "Wait." But she twisted free, descending the stairs fast. The chamber lay dim, lit by a single skylight. Cain slumped against the far wall, chains loose around his ankles. His chest heaved, body covered in scratches. The beast had raged but not broken free completely. For the first time in years, the chains held because his mind clung to one thought, Lyra. She dropped to her knees beside him, torch clattering aside. Her hands checked his wounds gently, tears streaming down her face. Cain lifted his head, golden eyes clearing. "You stayed." She nodded, pulling a cloth from her pocket to wipe blood from his brow. He caught her wrist, thumb stroking her pulse. "I felt you. Kept me human." Footsteps sounded above. Adam entered with Mira. "He's alive. And sane." Mira knelt, unpacking herbs and salves. "A miracle." Cain struggled to sit. Cain growled low. "Let her. We face her next." He stood shaky, supported by Lyra. They climbed out together, pack watching in awe. Whispers spread, the silent woman tamed the beast. Dawn broke as they reached Cain's cabin. He bathed while Lyra prepared broth. Exhaustion pulled at her, but joy warmed her core. Their bond had saved him. Maybe it could save them both. Cain emerged, towel around waist, water dripping from his hair. He pulled her close. Thank you. His kiss started soft, gratitude deep. Then hunger rose, hands roaming her back. Lyra melted into him, fingers tracing his scars. They tumbled to the bed, clothes shed slow. His mouth explored her skin, reverent. She arched under his touch, guiding with hands and eyes. Passion built steady, bodies moving in rhythm. Release came fierce, curses forgotten in bliss. Afterward, they lay tangled, breaths sinking. You are my anchor, Cain murmured. Lyra traced words on his chest, mate. But peace shattered midday. A scout burst in. Candace attacks the east border. With rogues and dark magic. Cain dressed fast. Lyra, stay. She shook head, grabbing dagger and notebook. Adam arrived, armed. She fights with us. They rode hard, arriving as battle raged. Candace stood on a hill, flanked by witches. Her eyes locked on Lyra. The mute thinks she can claim my brother? Cain shifted, leading charge. Wolves clashed in fury, claws ripping, teeth snapping. Lyra stayed mounted, spotting traps. She signaled Adam, saving 3 warriors from pits. Candace chanted, dark vines snaking from earth toward Cain. Lyra leaped down, slashing them with dagger blessed by Myra's herbs. Vines withered. Candace snarled. How? A witch hurled fire at Lyra. She rolled aside, throwing night bloom dust from her pouch. The witch screamed, blinded. Cain reached Candace, pinning her wolf form. Yield, sister. She shifted human, bruised. The curses bind you. Love won't break them. Cain pressed claws to her throat. We prove you wrong. Candace laughed bitter. The old witch returns tonight. Full moon again. She cursed you both. Face her or die. Lyra froze. The same witch who silenced her. Cain released Candace. Where? Ancient ruins, midnight. Candace stood, limping. Come alone, or pack dies. They retreated, tending wounded. Back home, council met. Rowan spoke first. Trap. Mira nodded. But the witch holds answers. Adam gripped sword. We go. Lyra wrote urgent, her lair. Full moon power. Cain decided. Small group. Me, Lyra, Adam, Mira. Night fell fast. They trekked to ruins, crumbled stone circles under towering oaks. Moonlight bathed the clearing. The witch waited, hooded, staff glowing. You came, she rasped. Cursed ones. Lyra stepped forward, throat aching with memory. The witch pointed. Silent girl. Your voice for my freedom. Alpha. Your beast for my youth. Cain growled. Break it. Witch laughed. Mate's blood spilled under moon. Or eternal chains. Battle erupted. Witch summoned shadows, beasts of smoke. Adam slashed them. Mira threw potions, exploding light. Cain lunged, but shadows held him. Lyra circled, spotting staff's crystal, curse heart. She dashed, dagger flashing. Witch blasted her back. Pain seared, but Lyra rose, tackling witch. Dagger struck crystal. It shattered. Light burst. Witch screamed, dissolving to ash. Cain broke free, beast fading. He caught Lyra as she fell, voice returning in gasp. Cain. He froze. You spoke. Tears mixed. Their curses cracked, bond surging pure. But Candace emerged from trees, eyes gleaming. Not over. She held shard of crystal. My curse now. Candace held the jagged crystal shard high, its edges pulsing with faint purple light. Moonlight caught the facets, casting eerie shadows across the ruined stones. Her lips twisted into a sneer, blonde hair wild from the fight. You think shattering the source ends it? I claimed this piece years ago. My blood binds it now. Your curses weakened mine, brother. Now I control the beast, and your silence returns, Lyra. Lyra clutched her throat, newly regained voice trembling on the edge of disappearance. The first word she had spoken in a decade, Cain, still echoed in her mind, fragile and precious. She stepped back, eyes wide with fear. Cain positioned himself between her and Candace, muscles coiled, wolf senses alert. Adam and Mira flanked them, weapons drawn, breathing hard from the battle. You betrayed us, Cain said, voice steady but laced with pain. Sister or not, this ends tonight. Candace laughed, a hollow sound. Betrayed? You left our old pack, took Ironfang, left me to rule Blackwood alone. The witch promised power. I took it. She crushed the shard in her fist, blood dripping to the earth. Dark energy swirled, coiling around her like smoke. Her eyes glowed red, beast form rippling beneath her skin. The ground trembled. Shadows reformed, larger this time, lunging at the group. Adam swung his sword, slicing through one, but more spawned from the ruins. Mira hurled her last potion, a burst of white light scattering them temporarily. Cain shifted to wolf, massive and black, charging Candace. Lyra's mind raced. Her voice, though weak, carried power now. She remembered Myra's words, curses break with stronger will, shared blood, unyielding love. The bond with Cain pulsed stronger than ever, a golden thread in her chest. She grabbed Adam's arm, pointing to the blood on Candace's hand. He nodded, understanding. Cain tackled Candace, claws pinning her shoulders. She shifted fully, a sleek grey wolf with crimson eyes, snapping at his throat. They rolled, teeth flashing, fur matted with dirt and blood. Adam circled, waiting for an opening. Mira chanted a protection spell, shielding Lyra. Now! Lyra shouted, her voice hoarse but clear. Adam lunged, slicing Candace's flank deep. Blood sprayed, mixing with the shard's remnants on the ground. Candace howled, staggering back to human form, clutching her side. Cain shifted human, grabbing her wrist. Enough. Spill your blood with ours. End this. He sliced his palm with a claw, then offered his hand. Lyra stepped forward, voice gaining strength. Join us, Candace. Family heals. Candace's eyes flickered, red fading to blue. Tears cut tracks through the grime on her face. I can't. But her hand trembled in Cain's. Lyra added her blood, pressing palms together. The three formed a circle, blood mingling under the moon. Light erupted, warmer than before. The crystal shard dissolved completely. Energy rushed through them, Cain's beast calming to a gentle strength, Lyra's throat healing fully, Candace's rage melting into sorrow. The shadows vanished. Silence fell, broken only by distant owl calls. Candace collapsed to her knees. Forgive me. Cain knelt, pulling her into an embrace. Always, sister. Lyra joined them, arms around both. The bond extended now, family mended. Adam sheathed his sword, grinning. Curses broken. Mira nodded, packing her pouch. Moon goddess approves. They returned to Ironfang at dawn, pack gathering in awe. Lyra spoke her first full sentence to the council. We stand stronger together. Cheers erupted. Rowan bowed. Luna Lyra. Days blurred into weeks. Cain and Lyra's bond deepened. Mornings started with shared hunts, evenings by the fire. One night, under a clear sky, Cain led her to the spring where they first bared souls. He knelt, holding a silver ring etched with wolves. Lyra, you gave me voice through silence, control through chaos. Be my Luna, forever. Tears filled her eyes. Yes, Cain. Forever. He slipped the ring on, kissing her deeply. Passion followed, bodies entwined on soft moss. His hands mapped her curves, mouth worshipping every inch. She whispered his name, voice a melody. They moved as one, release crashing like waves, sealing their union. Candace visited often, rebuilding trust. She shared Blackwood lore, strengthening alliance. Adam courted Mira, their laughter filling the village. Peace settled over both packs. Months later, during a grand festival, Lyra stood beside Cain, voice strong as she addressed the crowd. Love defies curses. It binds us all. Packs merged under dual alphas, prosperous and united. Their first child came with the next full moon, a boy with Cain's eyes and Lyra's gentle spirit. As he grew, stories of the cursed mates became legend, inspiring hope. Years passed. Cain and Lyra ruled wisely, their love the pack's heart. Candace found her own mate in a wandering warrior, healing fully. Silence became a strength, beast a protector. Fate chosen, curses shattered. 5 lessons from this story. Love transcends silence. True connection speaks through actions and hearts, not just words. Curses break with unity. Facing darkness together multiplies strength beyond individual power. Trust anchors the soul. Believing in a partner, even in rage or fear, tames inner beasts. Forgiveness mends family. Blood ties endure when pride yields to shared healing. Voice comes from within. External silence hides inner power waiting to be claimed. Thank you for joining this journey, viewers. Like, comment your thoughts, rate 1 to 10, subscribe for more stories.